Sure. It's
Sure.
famous for something.
In the show, was it Californication? Wasn't he like famous for having a big dick?
Uh,
No, wait,
I
I
don't
get that one confused with the like Thomas Jane had a show where he had a big dick.
Who?
There was like Thomas Jane, the
He was the
Punisher.
Punisher.
Oh,
That's what he called his penis.
that's the start of the show.
There we go.
Bam! Hit the ground running. That's what we do here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Smark Avengers. His name is Corey. With me is Dylan and John. How's it going, guys?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We started the show. We don't know what we're going to talk about. So there we go.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Well, I mean, we
Yeah.
talked about a little bit of a something earlier today where they officially revealed Bruce Wayne's new butler, which they had talked about for several weeks, if not months at this point, where Verity Pennyworth is going to be the major domo butlet, not a maid.
Can we like trademark Butlat?
I feel
Like,
like
is that a
someone
word?
probably has a trademark on it, and it's for something that we're not talking about.
Oh, for a Butlet?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, ours would be. Well, we could have still applied for a trademark because it's for a completely different area, as it were. There would be no confusing our two things, I don't think, because they're two very different things. Ours is about a lady butler, which I
What's
think
the other one about?
the other butlet that's already been trademarked, but just butt stuff.
Probably. It's sort of, you know, like how Uncle Fester would like put a light bulb in his mouth and it'd light up. The same thing, but with a different orifice.
Okay.
On a different electrical implement.
It was like a fluorescent light tube for that one.
Ugh. It was all over GCW.
John Moxley gets hit in the head with it.
Yeah, it was very graphic and not at all pleasant to watch. 5.5 stars.
I'm not into it, but other people are. 7 stars.
I loved it.
The crowd loved it. 7.5 stars.
I loved
I
it.
thought it was disgusting, but the crowd was into it.
I couldn't watch it. It was horrible. 7 stars.
That's always like the Hollywood Hogan versus Rock thing. It was just like, you know, it was kind of not that great, but the crowd seemed to really like it. Still, you know, 4.25, whatever it was.
I fucking loved that match, and it has still historically gone down as one of the best pro wrestling matches in easily the last 30 years. And Meltzer's like, you're
Not
gonna
for
remember
me.
this. You're gonna remember this shitty match from the Tokyo Dome more than Hogan versus The Rock. Can you imagine? Yeah, but it's no John Moxley versus Kenny Omega though. Did I get 5 stars? I don't remember. Probably.
I imagine so.
I would imagine so if I know that guy at all. What are we talking about?
I don't even know.
Butt
At this point.
stuff.
Oh, we're talking about butt stuff.
We were talking about butt stuff, so should we continue that or?
I don't think we can spin it for a whole episode.
No, I guess
attitude.
one of the more topical things we could talk about is that Supergirl didn't do great.
Okay.
This is true.
Have either of you seen it?
No, I've not.
Not yet. No.
John's been international playboy and hasn't had the opportunity to watch it.
Mhm.
No, he's just a national playboy.
Now he's just
Yeah.
he's just a nationalist.
Let's not phrase it like that.
No, okay.
Dude, we're firing on all cylinders today, are we?
We're in a fucking mood, that's for sure.
Knocking it out of the park, zinger after zinger.
I mean, like I said, you end a therapy session making a reference to Eric Clapton's kid dying. Therapist starts laughing, going, "That's dark," and I went, "All right, bye," and I just hung up the call.
All right, bye.
Yep, later, bye.
See ya. Later, fucker.
Pretty much. See you next week.
Sounds like it went really well. You'll see next week.
Yeah, wow. I see it weekly anyway. Yeah, so Supergirl.
Okay, so neither of you have seen it. Do
No.
either of you want to see it?
I kind of do.
I mean, I was a little on the fence with it to start with. I think like I'm always of the opinion of like Jason Momoa as Lobo is good casting, but like I didn't when I saw the trailer, I didn't care for the look they gave him. I don't know. I feel like they could have done better, like on his
Good.
appearance.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it was an interesting choice to do a Supergirl movie immediately after Superman
Yes.
and have the whole thing kind of be on her shoulders. But I mean, if they had just done like, all right, we're gonna do Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, etc., then would we have be on the opposite end saying like, oh, they're playing too safe? So it's like we John and I had an episode where we were talking about like James Gunn's handling of the DC side and going, he's making a lot of really weird decisions on the stuff that he's wanting to make shows and TV and like movies of. Because it's like
Yeah.
the first thing he did was Creature Commandos. And you're like, Creature Commandos? What the fuck? And then Peacemaker. And it's like, and then Superman. It's like, ugh. But,
Yeah.
he's in his wheelhouse. Now, I don't know if he had a ton to do with this one. It's under
Well,
his
I think
umbrella.
yeah, it's under his umbrella. I think he probably had something to do with the casting of Millie Alcock as Supergirl as well.
Yeah.
Because she was she made a cameo appearance in
In
his
Superman.
Superman movie. And I don't know, like from the original trailers, it looked very much like it had his fingerprints on it, and like it had a
Yes.
bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe to it. Apparently, it's not like that at all. Like I've heard reviews saying it's more Mad Max than it is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, so yeah, from the story is adapting Girl of Tomorrow. Uh and it's adapting it in a big way, but I heard they changed the ending to it. And I appreciate that they're making Kara a little angstier because it would make sense. Like, when Kal-El was sent to Earth, he was a baby. He had no memory of Krypton or anything about it. When she was sent, she's a teenage girl. So, like, she has a memory of her parents and the civilization and her people. And, like, she turns up on Earth, and this baby that she saw is, like, a grown adult man that's actually older than she is. Like,
Mm.
it would make sense why she would have, like, a bit of a chip on her shoulder, why she'd want to go off on her own into space and kind of, like, go to these planets that don't have a yellow sun so she can, like, get, drunk.
Mm.
But, like, I don't know. I wonder about, like, the tone and just overall superhero fatigue. I feel like the
Mm.
big one that we're going to judge on whether or not has the superhero bubble like officially burst is going to be the upcoming Spider-Man movie. It's a Marvel
Okay.
movie and it's a big name Marvel character. So if that underperforms, then I think you can make the grounds for I think we've just moved past this as a culture. Like we can keep
Yeah.
making them, but we're not going to expect them to make millions of dollars anymore. I mean, they'll make millions of dollars, but like as much as they were.
Yeah, billions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is, I don't know though. I think certain characters like Spider-Man, especially like his three, like Tom Holland's three Spider-Man movies, have all done really well at the box office and had like sort of fan acclaim as well.
Yeah.
So I think he's got, well, Spider-Man, this new one has got a lot of equity behind it.
Well, see,
So
that's what I'm saying.
I'd be really shocked if it doesn't
Yeah.
perform at the box office.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Supergirl is like people knows who Supergirl is, but they don't really know the character. Like
Mm.
they just know, oh, that's the girl version of Superman. Like in some instances, they don't even know her relation to Superman. So like Spider-Man's a proven commodity with several movies. Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, cartoon shows, uh, international appearances with our friends in Japan. Like that is a much bigger name brand, a bigger recognizable look. People know the origin stories of Bitten by the Radioactive Spider. If that doesn't perform, that's how you tell the bubble burst. because like that's something like, as you said, has a lot of equity behind it.
I feel like, well, I don't know. I feel like the real test is gonna be, um, whatever the fuck,
Doomsday.
Doomsday. Yeah, I was gonna call it Kang. I'm like, it hasn't been Kang in like 4 years. Um, yeah, Doomsday, because the thing about Spider-Man is because he has such equity, even if the film's total garbage, it's gonna make a shit ton of money
Oh,
because
we're
Mm.
it's
not talking. I don't think quality matters in the conversation. I think what matters is the money, because like that's something that people will always point to.
well,
Like,
I think the quality does matter, and that a lot of the Marvel films have been so highly rated at the beginning, and then recently, Spider-Man aside, there's been quite a mixed opinion, mixed to negative opinion on a lot of the more recent Marvel films that has kind of disappointed people, maybe because their expectations are too high, or maybe because the stories that are being told aren't interesting. But
yeah, I mean,
I feel like Doomsday is their big, like, kind of last gasp, big pitch, like, if this
I don't
doesn't
know.
work, fuck, kind of thing. And I feel like they're really gonna go for it. And if that fails, then they're like, well,
I
we'll
don't
just do.
have I don't have the same hope for Doomsday that other people do, because at this point we're watching a bunch of elderly X-Men. Is everything I've seen is like gray-haired Nightcrawler and shit. Like,
Mm.
I don't I don't know. I don't have that warm fuzzy feeling towards Doomsday that I think other people do. But like I really do think the litmus test is Spider-Man. I mean, it's Spider-Man, you know? The last
Right. Well,
Marvel movies have been stuff like Thunderbolts and like things like that. Like Thunderbolts got really good like reviews, but it underperformed. You know,
Mhm.
people didn't want to see it. And a lot of that was like, who are these characters? You know, like we saw them introduced in all these other movies, but like, why should we care about what happens to them?
right. But that's what I mean about Doomsday, and that's when they're getting all their big characters together. That's when they're gonna be like,
Do
oh,
we know
remember,
for a fact they're getting all their big characters together?
they're gonna have some pretty big hitters in it.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I know that we got Robert Downey Jr. I know that likely some of the characters that are like still established as being in the canon will be there. But like, do we know Chris Evans will be in it?
Yeah.
So it's
That's been
confirmed.
confirmed.
He's confirmed
Yeah,
as
yeah,
Captain America, not an old
yeah.
man.
I think so, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because there was a teaser trailer with
Trailer.
him being in the house that he goes to like live with Peggy, hanging up his costume basically.
As an old man?
Yeah,
No, no, no. As the young, Steve.
as a regular man,
Okay.
standard man.
I've not been watching teaser trailers. I try to avoid them because I don't like to know what's stuff's happening, and I think that like because we live in the age of short attention span, they give away too much shit.
Mm.
These teaser trailers. There was that one. There was another one. Who was the other one?
There was a X-Men one where it was just like a Magneto voiceover pretty much talking about the dark days that they've been going through and stuff, and
Or are you,
it
McKellen?
ends with like a classic shot of like Cyclops kind of screaming into the void while his eye beams come out.
He
And
loves doing that.
yeah.
I
Loves
just
that.
all I'm gonna say is poor
But
Ian McKellen. Can we let the man rest?
no,
He's so
we need it
old.
forever. Um, that teaser, Captain America teaser trailer wasn't really like. It was a teaser trailer. It wasn't a like. This is. It's not necessarily specifically in the. It's kind of like, what do you think of this? This will get you interested.
Yeah, it was all
Trailer.
like all the teaser trailers that they released were very vague and didn't
Yeah,
really give much of anything away except for here's a glimpse of these characters, they're back.
they give you enough where you're like, oh, hello, you know.
Yeah.
But didn't really show off like a lot of the film, and you're like, well, this is actually a teaser trailer.
Mm.
So it's actually like making me interested in see because like it's focused more on the characters that are going to be involved more so than you know Captain America flying a ship through the sun or whatever.
So so another of the superhero films that are upcoming is one of those other James Gunn choices in the DC realm that has confused some people, which is Clayface, which is
Mm.
going to be dark and kind of scary apparently, and there are rumors of like test footage or early screenings that are being very well received. Um, I still question why we're going Clayface before we get
Hmm.
Batman, but again, we talked about that. You either play it too safe or you take too many risks. I feel like there is no middle lane. So there's that. There is also Man of Tomorrow, which is going to be a Superman Lex Luthor team up against Brainiac. And they announced the casting of Brainiac, who is an actor I'm not familiar with. But I'm sure he'll be fine. You can't get Jeffrey Combs,
Who is Brainiac?
I can't even remember.
I wasn't sure if that was a question of like who is he as a character.
No, it's who is he and who is playing him.
A guy called Lars
Eidinger.
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 There you go.
That's lovely German.
Okay, well that could be fun.
Could be. So there's that, which the first pictures of Lex in a power suit has come out, and a lot of people said he looked kind of like Buzz Lightyear, which I saw and I was like, I mean, accurate. The power suit has always been a bit goofy. I feel like that's kind of the point of the power suit. It's like, look at the lengths this guy is going just to see if he could stand up face to face with him. There also there's the second Matt Reeves Batman, who originally it was announced that Sebastian Stan was going to be Harvey Dent, and now I'm hearing that he's going to be Victor Zsasz.
Well, yeah, I think the Harvey Dent one is like what he actually is playing. I don't know where these Zaz rumors have come from.
Yeah, that seems really weird that you would cast Sebastian Stan to be Victor Zsasz.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
You'd think they'd give him a bigger character than that.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I don't know how familiar, Dylan, you are with Victor Zsasz. Victor Zsasz is a serial killer who, when he kills someone, he carves a tally mark into his body. So his body is covered in tally marks. And that's it. Like, there's nothing else to him. He doesn't have powers. There's no tragic, like, backstory, anything I'm aware of. It's very one-note character.
Okay.
Like, there's a reason in Arkham Asylum, the video game, he's like the first named villain you encounter. And it's mainly just a tutorial of how to use the explosive gel. Like, he's not meant to be a major threat.
No.
Okay.
So there's those as well that are out there. I did see apparently a plot synopsis for the Dynamic Duo movie has come out. And if that's the case, I have no interest in seeing it. So first off, Dynamic Duo is going to be a combination of puppetry and animation and maybe live action from what I understand.
Cool.
And so it's going to center around Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, who are Nightwing and Red Hood, but it's going to be centered on them as children, and they're going to be like street urchins, with apparently like the big reveal being that Dick Grayson gets adopted by Batman and Jason Todd gets inducted into the Red Hood gang. And that I saw that and I was like, I don't want to watch that. There's a horror movie podcast I was listening to for a while that was hosted by two drag queens, which was fucking phenomenal. Listen, and they were reviewing the show Welcome to Derry, which is like the spin-off to the It movies that came out a few years ago. And in it, they were asked, like, one of the hosts was like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch this. It looks so interesting." And the other one's like, "I don't want to watch a show about a bunch of fucking kids." And I feel that way about myself. I don't want to watch a movie centered around a bunch of fucking kids. I'm almost 40. I don't fucking care what this 12-year-old's up to. I feel like a coming of age movie like that only works when you're around that age. Like, some of them are a classic for sentimental reasons, or like they deal with subject matter that's maybe a little too dark for what they should be, like a Stand By Me or something like that. But ultimately, like, for years I was trying to convince a friend of mine to watch The Goonies, and they refused to watch it because they're like, "Why would I want to watch a movie about a bunch of fucking kids?" And I went, "I get it, but literally it was a movie I watched all the time as a kid, and I was always entertained by it." And it's insane to me that you made it 37 years in your life and you've not seen The Goonies.
Hmm.
I think this is a strange way to look at things, to go like, well, I'm not a kid, so I have no interest in a film about kids. Because you're like, you watch films about space creatures and gangsters and shit, and you're not those things. So
I think there's a difference though, because it has to do with like there's a difference between a kids movie and like a movie that's centered around a kid. I feel like there is a
right.
difference in that. And when you're telling me that this movie is going to be animated and there's going to be puppets, I'm feeling it's going to be more of a kids movie than a movie centered around kid.
Mm,
Like it's
I
like
mean,
saying that if you were going to watch like Stand by Me, but it was all going to be done by the Henson Company, which in retrospect probably would have been fucking killer.
Right.
That's the
Doesn't that
Henson
sound
Company.
great? This was a misstep, Corey. That sounds great.
Yeah, I know. I played myself on that one because I mentioned the Henson Company, and anytime you mention Jim Henson, it's like, well, actually, that could have actually been really fucking cool if you
Well,
think about
that's the
it.
thing about the Hansons in general, is that those puppets could easily like flick between regular kid ass, straight up child's film for kids, or it could be like a more adult, um more
Team
grown up
America
kind of thing.
style.
Yes, exactly. Like the genius of that is that they can kind of do both, sometimes at the same time, and
Mm,
you wouldn't bat an eyelid. You know what I mean? You would be like, yeah, fair enough. Like they did a really good job of showing that puppets and those kind of things don't actually have to be for children. I think people associate them with children because children identify with them so easily. It's very easy to keep a child amused by waving a hand puppet at them, and that does a disservice to us as adults who can actually like appreciate a lot of different media more. That we just don't do that. We just want regular, very gritty and angry films about depressing things. And just like it's the way that people associate like an animated film with like being it for kids. And like, well, who makes animated films? It's all adults. They make them, so adults can enjoy animation as well. So I'm quite intrigued by this, honestly. Like the puppet animation thing. Like to
mm.
me, once you like, probably out of all the films we're gonna talk about today, that's the one that's made me the most like interested.
I
Certain things.
want to say as well, like, I think the idea of, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd being like on similar paths, but then diverging off sounds kind of interesting as well.
Yeah.
It
Like,
would say definitely a different take because,
mm,
like, depending on pre-crisis or post-crisis, the dynamic between Dick Grayson and Jason Todd are very different. Pre-crisis, Jason Todd like is a redhead who dyes his hair black to look like Robin and like has sort of like a brotherly relationship with Dick. And then post crisis is Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing, goes off to the Titans, and then gets replaced by Jason Todd and didn't know about it until after the fact. And is there to cement more of that wedge between Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne. Like there's conflict there of like, you not only replaced me, but like Robin was my identity. That was my name. That was my thing. And you just gave it to someone. Like that, what the fuck
mm,
is that? So it's a very different take in them knowing each other because like when Jason Todd dies, that is one of those things that like in post-crisis continuity, Dick Grayson felt bad about because he's like, I didn't really even know him. Like, I felt bad because this guy got brought in to replace me, obviously wasn't prepared for the role, made mistakes, and is now dead. And it feels like this is somehow on me.
They could do that in the film.
I mean, not if they're friends. I don't know if they could do that, but because then like if you have Jason Todd joining the Red Hood gang, then I think you're also excluding Jason Todd ever being Robin.
Hmm.
mm.
Because like that's the other thing is I feel like we're trying to introduce too many Robins at one time. Because they already said that Batman Brave and the Bold, which is the inevitable Batman movie they make, will have Damian as Bruce's kid. So we're going to introduce two Robins ahead of time. And it definitely sounds like Dick Grayson's going to serve a role as Robin for a period. But I don't think it's going to mean Jason Todd will have. And if you lose that's a very big part of the Jason Todd character is dealing with that angst and regret and bitterness of being seen as the failed Robin, the one who fucked up.
I think you could still play with it in a way, though. Like if, say, Batman choosing Dick Grayson makes Jason feel rejected by Batman, like you could still play with those similar kind of feelings of resentment and whatnot, and you know, uh, lead him down a dark path that way.
I think he still has to die though. He still has to die and he still has to get
Mm.
resurrected. I feel like
To die.
yeah, death is a very big part of the Jason Todd character.
Mm.
Because he dies in a very noble way. Like he dies trying to save his mom.
Yeah.
Who's the one that like slips on a thing and like bangs her head on a rock?
That is the Injustice continuity for Dick Grayson, where he slipped and fell and broke his neck.
Wow.
Yeah, Injustice, man. That's a whole world right there. That is a whole world.
Classic.
There was like this big thing of like people are wondering like, oh, where's Tim Drake in the Injustice continuity? And it's revealed that he and the other Titans were like stuck in the Phantom Zone. And he comes out of the Phantom Zone, and then Superman inadvertently hits him with heat vision through the heart, and it kills him.
Ah.
It's like kills him almost immediately. Like he just gets reunited. He's like, Batman, dead. You know, like Jesus.
I mean, that would kill most people immediately, I would say.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, that'll do it. For sure.
It's why there's Injustice is full of a lot of weird little stuff like that. Like the Injustice Green Arrow gets killed by Superman because he inadvertently kills Superman's dad with a kryptonite arrow. Like Superman avoids the kryptonite arrow, but it hits his dad in the chest and it kills him. And then Superman is so enraged he beats Green Arrow to death.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Seems fair. Yeah.
Yeah, Injustice, like I said, Injustice is such a weird continuity. And then like they brought in a different Green Arrow into the Injustice continuity, like from a different parallel world, and he marries that world's Black Canary because that world's Black Canary was grieving, and then she somehow becomes a Green Lantern as well.
Mm.
But that didn't make it into the second game. That was only in the comic.
Mm.
And I
Okay.
still think my favorite part of the Injustice continuity is so it all kickstarts because a combination of fear toxin and manipulation by Joker and Harley Quinn has Superman kill Lois Lane. And after he realizes what he's done, he becomes enraged and kills the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And then Harley Quinn becomes a hero somehow and is like aligned with Batman and like the people that are against Superman. And it's like, hold on, this is kind of your fault because you were part of the plan that caused this whole mess.
Yeah.
I know they addressed it in the comic a little bit, but I'm not a fan of the Injustice world, so I didn't read it in that great depth. Because like I said, it's just a messy little video game made by the Mortal Kombat people, mainly to test stuff that they want to put in a Mortal Kombat game, but they're not sure if it'll work yet. So they put it in Injustice first, and if it works, great, we'll put it in Mortal Kombat, and if it doesn't, oh well.
Fair enough.
I know
never
you
played those games.
I mean, I don't think you would like them, Dylan.
No.
No, because you strike me as like, because we've talked about like, you're a Capcom, like Marvel versus Capcom guy, and like, Mortal Kombat games are like the polar opposite of a Capcom fighting game. Because Capcom fighting games require like skill and knowledge and ability to do kind of complicated like input commands. And Mortal
Mm.
Kombat is the world of like left, right, A, and you rip your opponent's neck off, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like you wouldn't like it. I feel like you'd be more of a purist.
You think because it's too basic for
I think it's too. I think you
Phoenix
would think it's
Brand?
too basic for you.
I love playing Super Smash Brothers, and there's basically one button in Super Smash.
I don't know. I've met some Super Smash
Mm.
Brothers people who act like it's a fucking science.
It's well, that's the thing. Technically, it is, but like realistically, it's just A and then up or down or left and right, and then sometimes B and then up and down, left and right. But mainly A.
Mainly A.
Yeah. So, but again, like the beauty of Smash Brothers is in how simple it is. It's another one of those anybody can pick it up and play it. Like it's not the problem of the Street Fighter game is if you want to be good at it, you're either like really skilled at learning a lot of buttons, or you just press a shit ton of times,
I
and then you win.
a few years ago there was a video that was making the rounds of a guy playing against someone in Street Fighter, and the dude just annihilates him very quickly, and the guy gets really upset and walks away, and they make fun of him for crying. And I remember like finding the context of that, and it was a situation that like the guy that was really good is just really really good at Street Fighter, and like the other guy paid him money to play against him so that he could learn from him, and he didn't learn anything from just getting his ass whipped in like 15 seconds, so he was
Right.
upset that he wasted his money.
I mean, that's his fault, because if you have a pro Street Fighter player
Yeah,
and you had money to spend, why wouldn't you say, "Hey man, I'll give you some money if you teach me how to play Street Fighter"?
I don't know if that was the agreement and the guy just reneged on the agreement last minute or what, but like I said, the guy seemed he was legitimately very upset with how that went.
Like anybody, like if the deal is just play me at this game, and I'm sure through osmosis I'll just pick up how to be good. It's not the same as playing chess. You can learn how to play chess better by playing against people who play chess really well. But if you're playing like Street Fighter and somebody annihilates you, you're like, "What the fuck? What just happened?" And that's the end of it. You need to talk to that guy and be like, "Hey man, how did you do all the shit you just did to me?" Or how would I go about doing all that stuff to somebody else?
Yeah.
So that seems like a bad. I thought you were gonna say that others. There used to be this really, really, really famous Street Fighter video of Street Fighter 3, where they're at a tournament and this guy is like obliterating the other person and has him down like a sliver of health, and then starts doing their like super combo, and then the other person with a sliver of health, like in Street Fighter 3, you can parry a move, so it's like not just a block, but you like repel it, so it does chip damage. And this guy just like parries every single, like pixel perfect every single bit of this guy's super combo, and then like knocks him out, and it's like the coolest thing in the world to see. But of course, this was filmed in like 2001, so it's
So
on a
it looks
fucking.
yeah, it looks like it was filmed on a potato.
It's the quality's not great, but like when you know what you're looking at, you're like, it's fucking astounding. To see, you wouldn't have thought that a game could have such depth, beauty to it. But
See,
Street
this
Fighter
is why I was saying that I don't feel like you'd enjoy Injustice.
Mm.
Because Injustice, you do your super move by hitting like left trigger, if I'm not mistaken. You know,
Yeah.
you do enough
Well, you got,
damage, you can save up the energy. You go aha, and then you're Doomsday punching someone through the center of the earth.
but you got to keep it simple for the people.
Yeah.
You know? John, have you ever played Injustice?
No, I have
Sorry.
not.
Injustice: Gods Among Us.
I'm sorry.
Full title.
Mm,
Let's honor
No.
Ed Boon.
It's never really tickled my fancy.
Have you played Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
I've got it on my Switch, but I've not got around to playing it yet.
Yo, dude, it's dope. See, whenever you get to the character select screen,
Mm.
fucking best music.
Okay, cool.
Just boot it up and just listen to the music. You'll be sat there pretending you're picking your character. You're really listening to music.
Just vibing.
And also,
Mm,
like, it's huge. It's got so many characters, so you will actually be there for a long time, which is
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Get to hear the music.
So,
Pretty good.
Sweet.
Mhm.
so speaking of Street Fighter, that's a movie that's coming out at some point.
Yeah, I
It's
forgot
got a
about that.
it's got a bunch of wrestlers in it.
It does. It does.
Everything I've seen from it makes it look like it's very bombastic and something. It reeks of like it's gonna come out and
What
it'll
reeks
either
are
be so bad it's good or just bad.
What's irritating me about what I've seen about it is that it appears to be an intentional kind of tongue in cheek, like so bad it's good film. That's the
Mm.
vibe I'm getting from it. Because the original Street Fighter was a very sincere, so bad it's good film. It didn't intend to be that bad. It just was.
I mean, we got Kylie Minogue to look at throughout the movie, which was always pleasant.
Listen, I
Mm.
love that film because it is so bad that it's good. There's
Oh, I thought you were
so
Yeah,
saying
many.
yeah.
because I just love Kylie Minogue. I'm like, hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
I am indifferent to Kylie Minogue.
How can
Um,
you be indifferent to Kylie Minogue? Australia's finest export.
yeah, so they have her play Cammy.
Exactly. That was the depth of the casting. Like,
I
oh,
mean,
she's
well, yeah,
Australian
yeah. Jean Claude Van Damme plays the All American Guile.
with his
Like,
Belgian accent.
yeah,
Hey, Bison.
we're going to kick Bison's ass. Um, but it's also like a great watch. It's so much fun to watch because of how it like
It's bad. I saw it in a theater as a
it is
kid.
bad, but it's wonderful.
Mm.
It's just a joy to watch
It's one of
sometimes.
those things that like the so bad it's good parts you remember so well, and like just now I was thinking and remembering other parts of the movie, and I was like, there's a lot of really boring parts too.
Sure, but there are a lot of great parts. I really love that film. And I have a feeling that instead of like rebooting the Street Fighter franchise to like
We'll just
kind
kill
of
it a
take
little
it a
bit.
bit more seriously, they kind of looked at that old one for inspiration and went, "We'll just keep the same kind of tone," which I don't think is a good idea because there's a real sincerity to the original film. It's quite, in a way, it's like you know that film, The Room.
Yes.
Tommy Wiseau, like that was like so sincere. He didn't
Yes.
know that he was a shitty filmmaker. He just wanted to make a really good film, and that
Yes.
was the best he could do.
Yes.
So like there's a sincerity to it where you're like, it's terrible, but it's also quite sweet. It's also like he didn't do it on purpose. And you get that with the original Street Fighter film. They didn't make a shitty film on purpose. It just kind of happened like that. And I have an issue with films that try to ape that style because you will never get to that. You need to have a truly terrible director in charge for you to be able to get a film like that. You can't replicate it authentically. So if you're trying to do a so bad it's good, tongue in cheek kind of thing, it'll just come off as a bad film. And I'm a little worried that that is what might happen with the Street Fighter.
I don't
Um,
know. I'm getting similar vibes to the Masters of the Universe movie that came out
Did you see that,
recently.
John?
Oh yeah,
What'd you
I
think?
loved it. It was like it just ticked all of the nostalgia boxes that I would have wanted it to tick. So uh it was good fun. It was funny as well, which is the thing that kind of surprised me is like how much sort of comedy they kind of crammed in there for what's basically an action movie. But like there was a real sort of love to the source material which shone through. So even though like elements of it were definitely tongue in cheek, like references to that He-Man meme from like 20 years ago where he's singing that song. Um, and like references to the original Masters of the Universe movie and all sorts of stuff. Like it did it, but not in a way that was like kind of making fun of it, but just sort of embracing like all of these aspects of He-Man that people have known and loved over the years. And yeah, that's what I kind of got the impression of with the Street Fighter trailer that I saw. Is it's definitely going to be sort of cheesy and
Yeah.
maybe not good in a traditional sense, but there's a lot of love there towards the video games.
You know,
Okay. Real quick, John, what did you give Masters of the Universe on Letterboxd?
I gave it 5 stars.
Ah,
sure.
damn.
He's the
Nostalgia's a hell of a
master
drug,
of
man.
the universe. Anyway,
But Brian May did the score for it as well, and the
oh.
score is amazing.
Whoa, nice, man. Fair play.
Was there any references to Dolph Lundgren was in that one, wasn't he? Didn't he show up in it as a
Yeah,
little nod
he
to the 80s Masters Universe movie?
he does indeed.
All right, we were talking about really bad movies that were like made earnestly. Have any of you guys ever heard of Scarlet Warning 666?
No.
All right. John, this is one I would like for you to find and review. It is famously a bad movie because it was made by this independent guy who wanted to make his own movie, very much like Tommy Wiseau, had these really big thoughts and plans, and killed the movie by constantly fucking with it. Like every time that he would like show it, he'd get negative feedback, and then he'd spitefully cut it again. So it's like full of all these really bizarre cuts where at one point like he's doing voiceover work and he's being very aggressive to critiques to the movie. But it stars the filmmaker Palmer Rocky, who also did the music, and it's about twin brothers caught in a web of satanic rituals and demonic assassination. My favorite part is he plays both twin brothers, and you honest to God cannot follow which twin brother it's supposed to be at any given time. Like
What's it called?
It's called Scarlet Warning 666.
Okay.
It was made in the 1970s and then some because again, he would not stop editing it. Like he was constantly adding and removing parts to it. And I think after like I felt for him because the guy's wife, definitely a saint of a human being. I think she was the one who finally like put it out because he died, and she's like, get it out there at least.
Yeah, get it out of my house.
Exactly. Exactly. So anyway, So going back to that, I feel like here's a couple of things, like a movie or two that I've not seen anyone fucking talk about. What's up with the more recent Mortal Kombat movies that have been coming out? Because Carl Urban was just Johnny Cage, and I didn't see a fucking word about any of those movies.
No, me neither.
No. Sort of flew under the radar a little bit.
Is this what we're talking about with Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter?
A little bit, yeah, in that same regard. Like Street Fighter, they make all these big announcements. They cast all these like really bizarre choices. Like, I love David Dastmalchian, but like him as M. Bison, that's an odd choice. But then you get weirder choices. You get Cody Rhodes as Guile and Hiroki Goto as E Honda, and you get
Cody Rhodes with a giant American flag tattooed on his neck seems like a pretty good Guile to me.
Yeah, compared to Jean-Claude Van Damme, definitely.
Sure, in comparison, yes. But like you also get like Orville Peck, who's a queer country music musician playing Vega, a Spanish cage fighter. You know?
Yeah.
Like
I feel like that was because they both wear
masks. Exactly. That seems to be like the weird level of casting. But then you have this like Mortal Kombat movies where you have like Carl Urban, who's pretty respected for all intents and purposes. Like he does a lot. You know, he's constantly getting work, and they cast him as Johnny fucking Cage.
Cody Rhodes isn't respected in Hollywood.
I mean, I've seen his commercial work for that one like mobile game, and then like the ice cream cones. I've seen his work.
We've all seen Cody Rhodes' work.
I'm just gonna say I don't know if it compares to the one episode of Matlock that the American Dream Dusty Rhodes was on, where he was like in a like had a little small white dog that was in a dog show. Listen,
okay,
I love the American Dream. I watched that episode. I was like, I have to see this shit.
Who doesn't? Fantastic character.
Is he the bad guy in it?
I think he might have been the murderer.
Yeah.
I also think of Terry Funk in Roadhouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of love for Terry Funk. We love Terry Funk around here.
But yeah, this is a pro funk
It's
podcast.
a strong feelings towards Dory Funk Jr. I like him.
Let's just say just all the funks
All the
and
funks.
cover all the bases. Yeah. Funkin' podcast.
Yeah. Very famously, if he didn't want to wrestle, he would just tell, Vince McMahon that his horse was sick.
Horse was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vince didn't know anything about horses. He's like, oh man, poor Terry, all of his horses are sick all the time.
He figured it out pretty quick.
I would hope so. It's weird that every time we need Terry to do a job, his horse gets sick.
And is it the same horse?
Horse suffering from leukemia.
Vince is like, I'll just buy you a new horse.
Oh, I don't know. You form a bond with a horse. You can't just replace one.
You guys play Tekken?
Yeah, I had a history with Tekken way back when.
I think it was Tekken because me and Alex are watching the Royal Rumble and Cody Rhodes came out. And I was like, that's Cody Rhodes. He's going to be Guile in the new Street Fighter film. And she's like, that guy looks exactly like a guy from Tekken.
Oh, she's talking about like Paul or Gunjack.
Don't know. He was like, he looks so much like a guy from Tekken.
Interesting.
I was crazy because I'm like, well, he's already Guile. I was like, no, he's the fucking guy. And so he was just the guy from Tekken. I don't remember the guy's name. I wish I could remember it.
Any other old fighting games you want to talk about? We want to talk about Eternal Champions or Primal Roar, Killer Instinct.
I was gonna say Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Fuck, dude, Killer Instinct ripped.
Mm.
It was so good. The skeleton with the fucking four arms.
Pirate skeleton.
Yeah, he's my favorite. He was cool as hell.
I mean, you can
My
play a
SNES
dinosaur.
version came with the CD as well, with the soundtrack on.
Oh shit!
It was awesome.
Wow. I remember Virtua Fighter 2 when it came out. People were like, "This is gonna revolutionize fighting games with its 3D capabilities." So long, Street Fighter. You're gonna be because Street Fighter stuck with 2D sprite work. Into Street Fighter 3, which was like 97, 98. Virtua Fighter came out, and people were like, "So long, Street Fighter. This is true fucking graphics." Take a look at Virtua Fighter now. Virtua Fighter 2. Like, this was what was being heralded as like a Street Fighter. Like, it's gonna destroy Street Fighter with its 2D based sprites, and it's this horrible blocky ass fucking PS1 triangle characters like this. And then if you look at Street Fighter 3, beautiful sprite work, beautiful backgrounds, just wonderful care and attention put into it. And you're like, you thought this was better than that? The fuck are you talking about, man? You guys remember Soul Calibur?
So Soul Burns.
Wow.
Yeah, the name rings a bell.
Soul Calibur was fucking cool as hell, man.
Yeah,
They
Soul
released-
Calibur was fun. They were like one of the first games that had like really bizarre guest characters too, because like
yeah,
I remember like it was like Spawn and like Yoda.
So for Soul Calibur 2, they released it on the GameCube, the PlayStation 2, and the Xbox, but each version got a
different
secret character.
Yeah.
So the Xbox one was Spawn. I don't remember who the PS2 one was. And the GameCube one was Link.
Oh,
Legend of Zelda.
nice.
And you're like, this actually works really well. He's got
Yeah.
a big sword and like a boomerang and bombs and shit. It worked perfectly. And he fights a gimp.
Good old Voldo.
It's a weird game. Oh, do you guys ever play Guilty Gear?
I was actually gonna mention Guilty Gear. We were talking about like hard, like video games that are actually really fucking hard to play. Guilty Gear felt impossible to try to play. I had it on the fucking Wii.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Guilty Gear
All
X.
all the characters were named after musicians and bands and stuff.
Yes, a lot of them were. Yeah.
I like Zappa. He was the one that was
classic.
possessed.
Who was the one with the bag on his head?
Faust.
Oh, he's my favorite. I liked him. That's a fucking crazy game.
Yeah. Because they had those
That's
insta kills that were like real intense.
Bizarre. It's
No.
strange. Strange game.
I actually
All right.
recently saw like someone clipped like a character's special move from Darkstalkers, where if you're playing like the vampire character, if he like grabs the other opponent by the neck, and if it's a guy, he turns the guy into a girl and then feeds off of them, and like that's how he like ends the fight. He drains their blood, but it's like it's very specific that hey, this Dracula's not gay. He's gonna turn you to a girl first, and then he's gonna drink your blood.
Dracula never sucked a dude.
Never once sucked a dude.
Mm-mm.
You got to get a lady Dracula for that. That's what Keanu Reeves learned in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
That's in the book. If you actually like look at like chapter 4, it's like, oh, by the way, Dracula never sucked a dude. Like, oh wow, he's missing out, you know.
We took a turn on this podcast, didn't we?
We took it several turns. I feel like.
Yeah, you know.
We started off talking about comics.
Well, we started off talking about how Thomas Jane's penis is called the Punisher, and then we started talking about comics.
Now we're talking about Dracula sucking dudes. So it's all kind of come full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
These relaxed fit episodes are always so interesting because you never really know where we're gonna go. Sometimes we have a topic in mind, and then
here's the thing: you never know where it's gonna go, except for we're probably gonna talk about penises. Like what we like.
I was gonna say Happy Pride, but that was a couple days ago, so no longer Pride. Now it's shameful. So
yeah, but
we're back to being shameful again.
I'm from Ireland. We get shamed for that kind of stuff a lot. It's very Catholic upbringing.
Well, what can you do?
I was gonna say something, but I'm not going to.
So, I don't know. I feel like we might be at a point where we can go ahead and wrap her up. What do you think? Speaking of penises and safe sex, let's wrap it up.
John,
yeah, you know, let's be responsible. John, what was the last movie that you watched?
The last movie I watched was Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
Okay.
There have been a couple of those movies. Is it really just about? Is it just like a heist movie with magicians?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
That I won't lie. I don't know how you can make multiple movies off of that.
Well, yeah, they did. I've watched all 3 movies today, so they started kind of They started melding into one.
Yeah,
very
I can imagine.
Bland movie. But I mean, it's a weird one because there's sort of fun chemistry between the cast, but the plot is basically non-existent in all of them, and there's just like they're just trying to dazzle you with the visual illusions rather than tell a coherent story. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend them.
I watched the first one and I thought it was fine, but then they made more. I'm like,
This feels unnecessary.
Like Corey, I was like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to pull this off. And then I read like the synopsis of the second one. I'm like, boy, they were not able to pull it off.
No.
I used to work in a retail bank, and I will tell you, nothing will break your immersion in heist movies than reality. Because, like you said, I've handled thousands and thousands of dollars, and yeah. I remember like one of the Ocean's movies where like, oh yeah, we're gonna be taking like hundreds of millions of dollars from Al Pacino's casino or whatever, and they have like each person just carrying 2 duffel bags. I'm like, that's not enough. That's not enough duffel bags. Because like we would get a shipment of like this big huge bag of money to fill up the ATM, and the ATM holds 4 cassettes, each cassette capable of holding $20,000. So like $80,000 in cash weighed a lot, and was not easy to carry around.
Yeah.
So hey, there's your helpful information out there if you didn't know. Most ATM cassettes could carry about $80,000. Use with that information what you will.
That is good news.
Yeah.
Stop pumping iron so you can carry them.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys see this happened a couple of years ago? But there was this big case in Ireland where somebody just like drove a digger up to like there's like ATMs in like petrol stations and shit.
Mm-hmm.
somebody just drove a digger up to the side of a radio station with like the big scoop arm and just dug into the fucking wall. And
You
then
know
just
what?
like
You could be
fucking-
effective, you can be quick, and you can be clean, but you can't be all three.
simple. Hooked it up and just fucked off with a digger. And I'm like, hey man, effective, certainly.
Quick?
You leave a heck of a trail there, my friend.
Yeah, clean it. Clean it is not. So
So simple.
So real quick, John. I know that real time. It's only been about a couple days since we last recorded. But
Mm.
what does that do to your movie count?
So I was on 670 the other day. Today I'm on 674.
Okay,
You watched 3 films today.
exactly. So what was the
Yeah.
other one? What was the other outlier?
The one I watched last night was Borat, the first Borat movie.
Fair.
Why not?
Why not? So
Why not?
Yeah.
So John, for folks who want to get a review of the Now You See Me trilogy, where can they go to read your thoughts?
They can find me on Letterboxd at Big John Bowski, all one word.
And Dylan, what have you been up to this week?
Me and Jack have been sucking each other's dicks. But other than
Oh,
that,
hold on. Did you say you and Jack Lemmon? Because he's dead, my friend.
Dracula.
Dracula. I thought you said Jack Lemmon, and I went, 1, where did that come from? And 2, that man is dead.
First of all, hasn't stopped me yet. Second of all,
Dracula also dead.
We haven't. Well, yes, and third of all, we haven't talked about Jack Lemmon at all in this show, but we definitely talk about Dracula.
I
So,
feel like we should start talking about Jack Lemmon more as what this has come out to.
well, maybe next
Next
time.
episode.
Yeah, we ran out of time this.
John
time,
will
I'll
have
be
watched
frank.
all the Grumpy Old Men movies at that point.
They're all classics. On Monday nights, I do a radio show on Bounce Digital Radio. .co.uk. The link is in the description. 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock every Monday night. We play loads of cool music. I talk a lot of shit sometimes. I sometimes stream on Twitch at Spooky LaRue, where I draw pictures and I animate those pictures and put them up on YouTube and Spotify. YouTube at Team Crows NI, and TikTok at Team Crow Studios. So if you could like all those funny videos, you put a new one up this week, I think, or maybe it was last week. So if you guys could watch those and give us loads of money, that would be really sweet.
There you go. As for me, I have the other show on the channel, which is New Number Ones, where I go to the comic book store on comic book day or shortly thereafter and grab a new number 1 from all the time, a non-Big 2 publisher. And sometimes the creators of that comic find my review and leave a comment about it, which was surprising. So that's on the channel.
Good comments or bad comments?
You can read the comment for yourself and let me know what you think. I felt they were very professional. I was not very kind to the review, though. I will say, I was like, I feel like the dialogue was a little 90s. It was very Rorschach journally. I feel like we wasted too much time in showing and not telling. They could have like summed this up in 6 pages and moved the story along further. I think I might have also said I don't know if English is their first language, and that could have been an issue.
You think we talked about that one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the ones who found that. They're the ones who left the comment.
And they were like, "You're correct.
They're
English is
identical
not-"
twin brothers. Yeah. Great artists, though. I have to say, like their art was fantastic. Just wasn't impressed with the storytelling.
If it was just like a series of like blank panels with no dialogue, it would have been amazing.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I don't think it would have been that
If you guys
bad.
are listening to this show, which I assume you are because you're clearly fans of our work, get on board.
Yeah, get on board. Jump on.
Yeah, think about it.
Talk to the fine folks at Amp Comics and see if you can turn this ship around.
We're helping.
We are. Aside from that, I also have my other show, Large Old Cup, which is a spoken word sort of art podcast thing where it's evolving. And I have a third thing that's coming down the pipeline, which I'll talk about more when it gets closer. But I think it's going to do us all for today, unless there's anybody else we want to try to piss off.
We could probably piss somebody else off real quick, could we?
Wanted to piss off Jack Lemmon, but I just found out he's dead.
I
Didn't even know he was
he's
sick.
on it. You can piss on Jack Lemmon's corpse.
There you go.
I heard he
That-
used to host a lot of parties. They used to call them lemon parties. I mean, you should probably put that in Google and see what comes up.
You should Google that.
Yeah.
Everybody should Google lemon parties. It's really popular.
Good old
You'll be-
ancient internet.
You'll be really surprised at what comes up, I would say.
And you might learn some things about yourself in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Pride, everybody.
What a way
All
to
right.
end the show.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
That's the best episode we've done in years.